MATOKA が参ります。ご注意ください。
Hey friends, what's good? So lately, my channel has been focusing more on anime and anime content just because a lot of the subscriber base is from the kids anime video that I posted a few months back. And that's great. I love anime and I love talking about anime because it's a hobby and I enjoy a lot of animes as well, and just learning about new things about anime is very cool too. But before I shifted more into anime content, a lot of the content that I was making was just focusing on my life and lifestyle and talking about what's going on. And I've never wanted to be a one-trick pony or anything like that, so I've always wanted the channel to encompass a bunch of different things because I do have a lot of different hobbies and I like to talk about a lot of different things. So this is gonna be one of those videos where I talk about my emotions.
This is awkward.
As gross as that really sounds. So if you're not interested in that, then feel free to click off the video, that's perfectly fine. But I did want to talk about a little bit of just how I'm feeling with motivation and productivity, and also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't post a video during the weekend, so it's been about a week since I posted last, but I took some time just to think about my life and the path that I want this channel to go down, as well as just my own path and that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to kind of talk about, you know, where I'm at in life right now with everything going on, because we're in a pandemic, right? So let's just get started, I guess. So lately, personally, I've been feeling like motivation has been pretty low in my life recently. And I had to take some time away from creating content in order to kind of figure out where this is stemming from. But I think it's because right now we're in a pandemic. Depending on where you live in the world, it could be better or worse than here in California. Regardless of whether the conditions are better or worse or however many cases there are, everyone is still feeling it in a certain way. Like, it's still very prevalent everywhere around the world, and there's still a lot of health risks and so forth. The thing that I've been concerned with a lot is motivation as well as productivity, because in this new world where we're supposed to stay at home or have limited interaction with people, it's hard to feel like you're being productive, and it's also hard to motivate yourself in order to do things. The hard thing about being productive is you just don't get as much done, and it's harder to get stuff done, and that also stems into the motivation factor as well. And I think I know where, at least in this case, the lack of motivation stems from, because there's so much uncertainty about the future. Like, we don't know when there's gonna be a vaccine, we don't know when there's gonna be a new sense of normalcy. Not that everything's gonna be perfectly normal after all this has happened in the first place, but there is gonna be a time where things are gonna be less restrictive than they are right now. And I think not knowing when this point in time is gonna come really hinders motivation, especially in me. I can't speak for everyone else, but the way I see it is, what are you really working towards if you don't know what the future holds? And you never know what the future holds in essence, but it's almost like a waiting game, so it's very hard to feel motivated to do things in the present. And I'm not the type of person who hates the fear of the unknown or the future or anything like that, because if I was, I wouldn't have just moved to Japan without knowing anything in the first place. So I love that kind of adventure and breaking into the unknown. But in the case for me, I do like to have a little control over that breaking into the unknown. And with this, there's no control whatsoever. So motivation wise, that's where I'm coming from. I'm sure it's a phase, because personally for me, things are like up and down during the quarantine and the pandemic and stuff, so. But that has hindered my content creation for this past week. I hate to call myself a content creator, not because I don't think it's a profession or don't like the term or anything, but I just don't feel like it fits me. If you just take the words content and creation and put it together, that's technically what I'm doing, because I'm creating content, I'm putting it on YouTube, people are watching it, maybe a few are enjoying it, I'm not too sure. But, you know, with the word of content creator or influencer or anything like that, I think it's almost perceived as someone who has over a certain amount of followers and certain amount of views. And while I hate to compare myself to anyone else, of course, in a society where always compare ourselves to other people just because it's so prevalent on social media, it's something that I kind of do inadvertently, and I'm like, no, I'm not a content creator, what the hell am I saying, you know? But using just the phrase content creation, that's something that I haven't been doing over the past week, mostly because of the motivation thing and kind of getting through this funk during the pandemic and whatnot. I think the other thing, going back to, you know, comparisons and social media and stuff like that, you know, YouTube does this thing that is great for businesses and larger channels called YouTube Analytics, where you get to see your videos ranking based on your other videos and just like the performance and rating whether the content was good or bad based on your audience and how many views and interactions that it gets, which is great for keeping track of things. I'm not gonna lie or anything like that. I think it's a great tool. Not a great tool for the self-esteem though, let's be honest. As much as I don't like to compare my content or just myself to other people or other entities out there, the whole analytics is a comparison between how well a video is performing, and that can weigh on your mind. So I always try to separate emotional from analytical, like those two things shouldn't be in the same realm, but it's hard to do that. I'm still like new to this game, right? So it's still taking me a bit to make that kind of adjustment. Even from the beginning with the channel, I've only just wanted to make content that I enjoy and people enjoy, and in the future I can look back on it, even though I really can't look back on it right now because I don't like watching myself and it's still pretty cringe. But maybe when I'm like 95 and I'm just like, oh, the good old days, then I can look back on it and be like, ah, you were kind of cool, I guess. So yeah, I guess I've been a little bummed or just like unmotivated because I feel like the videos that I have been creating, like they've been getting okay traction, but it's not like it was before, and that's a little like, in my mind it's a little bit like, oh god, what am I doing wrong? But it's not like I'm doing anything wrong, it's just that's kind of how it goes. With everything in life, I think things come in waves, so you have peaks and troughs and stuff like that. And YouTube is no different from that as well. But when you see fast growth, I think you get a little used to that, or you kind of expect that to happen more, and then when that stops, then it's like there's some kind of problem. But I don't know, it's really not a problem, it's just me trying to get used to how it all works. Nevertheless, with me trying to figure out everything, I do want to thank everyone that has been tuning into this video and my previous videos, leaving those interactions like comments and likes, and taking just the time to even watch them. I think that really helps, and I think that's very underrated as well. Like when you look at someone who gets what, 1 million views on a video and a bajillion comments and all this interaction and stuff, I for one was never the kind of person to be like, I'm gonna like this video or I should leave a comment and stuff, just because I see all those interactions already and I feel like that's gonna get lost in it or something. No, I think every single comment you get, every single like, every single interaction, like it personally motivates me to keep creating more videos, even if I put up a video that is performing bad or anything like that. When I see those kind of interactions, I get motivated to keep creating more things. So I wanted to thank everyone who has been making those interactions possible and stuff like that. And I also want to ask people the kind of content that they want to see, because, you know, I do have ideas. All the ideas that I have been posting are more or less things that I come up with on my own, but I also want to hear what you guys want to see in the future as well. I really want to expand the content, so I'm not only doing just like one thing in anime, but I'm encompassing a lot of different things that are related to my life and my hobbies, as well as things that you guys want to see. And I think just with learning what you guys want to see, it's also a learning opportunity into things that I might not even know about. Like for example, I know I talk about it too much, I apologize, but with the Kiss anime video and when all that shit went down, it was very eye-opening to me because it gave me an opportunity not only to check out new anime streaming sites, but also learn about the free versus paid anime streaming conversation and even people who used anime streaming apps, and I didn't even know that was a world either, and just finding other alternatives and learning more about the industry as well. And I felt really great learning about that as well as sharing that for other people who also didn't know any of that, because I didn't know any of that either. So we were kind of just learning and sharing information at the same time, and I thought that was great. So if there are other opportunities like that as well, I'm super on board to get started with that and hear new ideas and opportunities and stuff like that. So yeah, leave your ideas in the comments below for anything you want to see. I have so many ideas as well that I want to get through. I've already talked way too long and I need to scale this video down so that it's actually watchable anyways. So I'm going to leave it here. If you like videos where I'm kind of just like talking about my life and about the things that are going on in my head, make sure to give this a thumbs up just so I know that like I can make videos like this and it's okay. If it's not okay, that's perfectly fine as well. I'll just talk to myself in my room alone about my issues and that's fine. That's sad, but it's also fine. I still do that even when the camera's off, so don't worry. And yeah, honestly, I just have so many ideas in my head. Like I would love to start streaming content on here as well. Maybe start doing some live streams and stuff. I don't have the equipment for that at all, but you know, maybe eventually I can start making something like that happen as well. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for listening to me. I just talk a lot, I think, but hopefully with topics like this and whatever, that's okay. And if you made it to the end, thank you very much. You are awesome. And I'll see you next time. Peace.